How's it going, YouTube? This is EJT156 coming back here with I'm going to call it my Eagles recap and future video, and my thoughts about everything that happened from the start of the season to the end. I won't get into future coaches. I'm really trying to take my time, look at the coaches that are available, or coordinators to become head coaches, and who are available. I'm going to try to make that video sometime after this weekend, after the playoffs, and I'll make a playoff video even though we're not involved, just because I think there are a lot of good games this year. And like Philadelphia said in her FanDuel video yesterday, we're limited to so many players now. I am involved on that. I'm not under my YouTube name. So go ahead and watch her FanDuel video, Week 17 tournament, I think is what it's called, or it's something like that. It's her most recent video, so watch it, sign up for it. Very limited on the players and the defenses, so it's not like all her other videos. Or it's not like all her other tournaments. So go ahead and subscribe to that and subscribe to her channel. And so I'll make a coaching video probably sometime next week after this weekend's playoffs, and I'll probably make a playoff video in regards to how the playoffs are going to look, because a lot of good games this weekend. These are very good games to watch. Not just as, my Eagles are out, but as a football fan, it's Minnesota and Seattle, I believe. That's going to be one game. Green Bay is playing this weekend. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. That'll probably be arguably the best one to watch, because we still don't know the quarterback situation for them, and we don't know. This is playoff time where a lot of teams excel. So we'll just have to wait and see. So I'm not going to get into that too much. I'm already rambling way too much. And let me jump back into the Eagles. Well, this season was a question mark, as I want to say, because we don't know. We didn't know at the beginning of the year, really. Let's look back all the way to last year. Foles went down against Houston. And then there were so many question marks regarding Foles, Macklin, some of the offensive line, and a few other guys, and LaShawn McCoy even. So let's talk about some of the stuff he did first. Trading, he didn't re-sign Todd Hermans. He released him. He didn't franchise tag Jeremy Macklin, which I was very disappointed in. Jeremy Macklin we should have kept. He's having his career year right now. He's doing better right now with Kansas City than he did with us, even last year. I don't care what anybody says. He's playing phenomenal. Next of all, we had Trent Cole got let go, and then we traded LaShawn McCoy for Kiko Alonso. Kiko Alonso sucked, and so did LaShawn McCoy. They both sucked this year, let's just be honest. And LaShawn McCoy was being a little girl about everything, calling Chip Kelly a racist. It's like, dude, this is the NFL. He didn't want you and your attitude in the locker room, and you proved that again when you guys lost to us. Then, this is the biggest questionable move he made. I still say it is. Trading Foles for Bradford and involving some draft picks. Don't ask me about the draft picks. Look them up, people. I cried for 2 hours straight when that happened. I was like, this guy's more fragile than glass, and you're giving up a guy who the previous season put up 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Now, some people are going, whoa, EJT. He only did that against bad teams. Detroit still had Ndamukong Suh when he did that, and that's when he threw his first interception. He beat Dallas. Now, it's still questionable. Bradford did get hurt and missed 2 games this year, but Foles did terrible. So, it's still a questionable trade. And then, in regards, now jumping into the draft and to the schedule, when we did that, we had... I'm only going to do our first 3 picks, because those were really the only 3 that made a difference. Aguilar, Rowe, and Hicks. Hicks, by far, has been the best, even though he got hurt. And then... you look at Rowe, he had to go up against Megatron and Dez Bryant in the same season. That's not easy to do for even a top corner. Those are the 2 best receivers in the league. And then Aguilar got hurt. He missed, what was it, 5 games, I think? And he missed 5 games and didn't do near as much as we wanted. But I still have hopes. I have the most hope for Hicks because I hope he can make a comeback player of the year and really help our defense out. And now let me talk about our recap of the schedule and our wins and losses real fast. Everybody knows week 1 was against Atlanta. We lost that. That was a game I felt like we should have gone in and kicked the crap out of Atlanta. We should have won that by double digits, to be honest. Atlanta's not a good team. People know it. Then the game Dahlia and Madden G4D went to. We got embarrassed by Dallas, and Dallas won without Tony Romo and Des Bryant. That was embarrassing. Then we get our first win against the Jets, a team who I still think is a joke of an organization. Then we lose to the Skins by a field goal. I feel like our offense and defense let us down in that game because I finished listening to that game. Then things get interesting. I was questioning this game. It was against the Saints. We won 39-17. I felt like maybe the Eagles could win or lose because, the Saints, it's always a questionable game when we play them. Then the blackout Monday night game against the New York Giants. I hate the Giants. I was so glad we won by 20. I was so happy. And I wish we could have shut them out. That would have been hella awesome, but oh well. Next, we lost to our first Sunday night game this year was against Carolina. We lost that. I think at the beginning of the year I was thinking maybe we could win this, but I felt honest. To be honest, I thought we would lose, but by maybe a field goal. I thought maybe our offense could do a little bit better. And then we had the bye week, and then this one we won in overtime against Dallas, and I still will say it. Jerry Jones paid those referees to make all those bad calls against us. He did. There's no denying it. Next 2, I don't want to get too much into. We got it. Actually, next 3, excuse me. We lost 3 in a row. Miami, the Bucks, and the Dolphins. Or Miami, the Bucks, and then the Lions. In the Lions game, we got embarrassed, and same with Miami. We should have won all 3 of those games. We could have won them. Should have. A lot of bad calls. Not from the refs, but from the offensive point of view. Defense gave up 45. They gave up, what is that, almost 200 points in 3 games. Next, the one game that I was looking most forward to watching. And this was the game that I knew would be special. And it was us against the Patriots. Realistically, I thought we would lose by 1 point, but we ended up winning 35-28. I knew that game was going to be the most special game of the year for the Eagles. And then the return of Shady McCoy, we beat him by a field goal. And then my game, they switched it to a Sunday night game because I think they thought it would be a closer game. My first game, we get blown out 40-17. Still had a blast, but it sucks we lost. And then we get embarrassed by the Redskins at home, a playoff game. I don't care what anybody says, it was a playoff game. And then lastly, we sweep the Giants 35-30, and we don't have to play in London next year. We get to go to Seattle, which we'll probably all be going to. A bunch of us Eagles family are going there probably. So that's the recap of the schedule. We went 7-9 at the beginning of the year. I thought realistically maybe 10-6 at best, 9-7 at worst, but instead we get reversed that. So the whole year we had a question mark as to how good is our O-line going to be because we lost 2 of the best, and then Jeremy Maclin's gone, LaShawn McCoy's gone, Trent Cole is gone, Brandon Boykin got traded for like a 6th-round draft pick, and I mean there were just so many questionable moves, and it's like, wait, are these moves all going to pan out? Is this going to work? Realistically, we went from a 10-6 team to a kind of rebuilding team with younger, better players. You guys are going to tell me in the comments section what you guys think. This is just my personal view, and it was just an unknown factor. And Chip got fired after the Washington loss. That was another thing I just wanted to bring up. I think if we had these results next season, that's when he would have gotten fired. But from what I've heard and read, and it sounds like Chip was unapproachable, but from a player's perspective, and he didn't want to do anything else. He just wanted to do his own thing and make the Eagles the way he wanted to. He wanted to do whatever he wanted to make his team, but it didn't work. And then when Pat Shurmur took over, I think we actually saw a glimpse of what this Eagles team can be. Aguilar caught the ball, and that was the play that I had been wanting to see all year. Was him catch it and just accelerate, and no helmet-to-helmet call, and somebody said, Aguilar's a dirty player for that. Aguilar didn't do anything. He just caught the ball and ran. Jordan Matthews, you were dropping so many balls at the beginning of the year, but you really stepped up at the second half when your hand got better. The best player of the year, I'm staying at right now, was when Jordan Hicks intercepted it at the Dallas game and ran it back for a touchdown. And now that the season's over, the next thing we got to do is, number one, get a new head coach, and I want a defensive-minded coach. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not going to say who I want as the head coach. Not yet. I really want to take my time and get a good in-depth analysis of the available coaches. The schedule hasn't officially been released for next season, guys, but I know we play, as we all know, Dallas, Giants, and the Skins. I think we have all of the AFC East, which is Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore. We have Seattle, and now I can't remember who else we're playing. Dang. So, but I'll be back with that eventually. So, where do we go from here now, YouTube? Like, we need a new coach. We need to fix that offensive line desperately. Is it me, or is it that it seems like even when we had Donovan McNabb, when you got to go all the way back to the early 2000s it's like our offensive line has always been either banged up or we just have always had to fix something. And there are two teams out there that have good offensive linemen that I wouldn't mind making trades with. Call me crazy, but I wouldn't mind some of Dallas's linemen, and I wouldn't mind some of Cleveland's. I wouldn't mind Cleveland's guards. They're very solid. They have bright futures. Either we make trades with teams that have very young, good offensive linemen, or we draft a bunch of linemen. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we have 9 picks. So, if we can fix that offensive line, DeMarco Murray will get better. Matthews, I hope he can catch more balls. Bradford, please re-sign Bradford. Jeffrey Lurie, re-sign him ASAP. Jordan Hicks, heal up. Hopefully you can be, that X factor that we need on that defense. That's what we need. And lastly, YouTube, we'll just have to wait, and we have to wait to see who our head coach is going to be. We have to re-sign some players, and we have to just wait for the draft and the official schedule release. So, my bad about how long this video is, guys. I don't blame you if you don't watch the whole thing. Comment below on your thoughts. Let me know, YouTube Eagles family, let me know what you guys think. So, until probably Monday or sometime next week, YouTube, I'll be back. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say. I hope everybody is having a great 2016 so far. I know mine's starting off great. And let's look for the future and hope for the best for the Eagles. So, comment below on your thoughts, like and subscribe to this channel. EAGLES, Eagles. God bless.